like a bullet in my sights.
Moving, Master. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Moving, Master. Of course, sir. Moving, Master. With great haste. Of course, sir. Yes, sir. With great haste. Yes, sir.
Point the way. Moving. With pleasure. Point and shoot with pleasure. Moving like a bullet in my sights. Point and shoot. Moving with pleasure. In my sights. Moving with pleasure. Point and shoot.
Of course, sir. Serpent. With great haste. Of course, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, my lord. Yes, sir. With great haste. Yes, my lord.
Like a bullet. Moving like a bullet with pleasure. In my sights. Like a bullet in my sights. Moving.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Serpent.
With pleasure. Point and shoot. With pleasure. In my sights.
Yes, Lord. I obey, my lord.
Like a bullet. With pleasure. Moving with pleasure. Point the way. Moving.
Yes, my lord. Of course, sir. Moving, Master. Serpent.
Point and shoot. Moving with pleasure. Point the way with pleasure.
Moving, Master. Yes, sir. Serpent.
My sights with pleasure. Moving with pleasure. Did you see that coming? Shoot! Like a bullet. Point the way with pleasure.
With great haste. Serpent. Yes, sir. With great haste.
Point the way. Point and shoot. Point the way. Like a bullet. With pleasure. Point and shoot. With pleasure.
Moving, Master. Yes, my lord. Moving, Master. Yes, sir. With great haste. Of course, sir.
Point and shoot. In my sights. Moving. Point and shoot. In my sights. Moving. In my sights. Moving. Like a bullet. Moving with pleasure. Too easy. sights.
Yes, my servant.
Serpent. Yes, my lord.
Moving with pleasure.
Serpent.
Point and shoot. In my sights, moving with pleasure. Moving with pleasure. Moving like a bullet. In my sights, moving like a bullet with pleasure. Point and shoot. Let loose! Attack! In my sights, like a bullet, with pleasure. Point away, with pleasure. In my sights, point and shoot.
Moving, master.
Point away, with pleasure. Moving, point away, moving, with pleasure. Moving. Let loose! Point and shoot.
Yes. Moving, master. Yes. Moving, master. Yes, my lord. Yes, sir. Serpent. Great haste. Moving, master. Yes, my lord. With great haste. Yes, my lord. Moving, master. Serpent, of course. Moving, master. Yes, sir. Serpent. Great haste. Yes, sir. Great haste.
With pleasure. Moving, point away. In my sights. Moving.
Moving, master. With great haste. Moving, master.
In my sights. With pleasure.
With great haste. Moving, master. Yes, my lord.
pleasure. Moving like a bullet. Fire! Attack!
Yes. Serpent. Yes, my lord.
Point the way. In my sights, point and shoot. Moving, point the way with pleasure. Moving like a bullet with pleasure. Moving like a bullet. Moving with pleasure. Moving. Like a bullet with pleasure. Like a bullet. Point the way with pleasure. Point and shoot. Moving.
Of course, sir. Moving, master.
Like a bullet. Moving. Point and shoot. Point the way. Like a bullet. Point and shoot. Taking aim. Shoot! Fire! Taking aim. Quick.
Serpent. Yes, sir.
Moving. Point the way.
Serpent. Yes, my lord. Yes, sir. Moving, master. With great haste. Of course, sir. Yes, my lord. Serpent. Yes, my lord. Of course, sir. With great haste.
Moving like a bullet. Steady. Let loose. With pleasure. Point and shoot.
Yes, master.
Yes, my lord. Moving, master.
With pleasure. In my sights. Moving. With pleasure. Moving. Point the way. Shoot! In my sights. Point and shoot. Steady. Point the way. Reloading with pleasure.
With great haste. Yes, my lord.
Shoot! Attack! Point and shoot. With pleasure. Point the way. Point and shoot. Moving like a bullet. In my sights. Moving. Steady. Fire when ready. Fire! Fire when ready. Steady. Fire when ready.
Of course, sir. Reclaim our lands. Yes, sir. Yes, my lord. Of course. Moving, master. Yes, my lord. Moving, master. Servant.
With pleasure. Point the way. With pleasure. Moving.
Of course, sir. Yes, my lord.
With pleasure. Moving. With pleasure. Moving. With pleasure. In my sights. With pleasure. Point and shoot. Point the way. Moving. Like a bullet. Moving. Eat lead. Like a bullet. Attack! Wow! With pleasure.
Yes, my lord. Yes, sir. Moving, master.
Moving. Point the way. In my sights. Moving. In my sights. Point and shoot. With pleasure.
With great haste. Moving, master. With great haste.
Point and shoot. With pleasure. Point the way.
Yes, sir. Serpent.
Reloaded. Moving like a bullet. Point the way. With pleasure.
Yes, my lord. Moving, master.
Point the way.
With great haste.
With pleasure. Like a bullet. With pleasure.
Yes, my lord.
Moving like a bullet. Point the way. Point and shoot. Moving.
Moving, master. With great haste.
With pleasure. Moving like a bullet. Moving. Point the way. Moving.
Yes, my lord. Yes, sir.
Like a bullet.
Yes, my lord. Yes, sir. Moving, master. Yes, sir. Moving, master. Yes, sir.
Over there.
Yes, my lord. With great haste. Of course, sir. Moving, master. Yes, sir.
Yes. I know.
Too easy.
Yes, my lord. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Yes, sir.
Over there. Agreed.
Moving, master. Yes, my lord.
Point the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, my lord. Yes, sir. Yes, my lord. Serpent. Yes, my lord. Moving, master.
With pleasure.
With great haste. Yes, sir. Serpent. Yes, my lord.
Yes.
People.
You see that coming?
Yes, Lord.
Steady. Fire when ready.
For you, my lord.
Point the way. With pleasure. My sights moving. Steady. Fire when ready. Steady.
Of course. Yes, sir.
In my sights, moving like a bullet. Point the way. With pleasure. Moving like a bullet. With pleasure. Moving like a bullet. Point and shoot. Moving with pleasure. Point and shoot. Moving like a bullet. With pleasure. Point and shoot. With pleasure. Moving. Like a bullet.
All right.
Point and shoot. Moving in my sights with pleasure. Point the way with pleasure. In my sights with pleasure. Point and shoot.
Over there.
Moving
Over there. Attack!
like a bullet. Point and shoot. In my sights with pleasure. In my sights.
With great haste. Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Moving in my sights. Moving with pleasure. In my sights. Moving like a bullet. Point the way.
Not good. Not good.
All right.
For the serpent.
With pleasure. Like a bullet.
Yes, Lord. For you, my Lord.
Point the way with pleasure. Point and shoot. Point the way with pleasure. Point and shoot. Point the way with pleasure. Like a bullet. Moving with pleasure. Point and shoot with pleasure. Point and shoot. In my sights. Point the way. In my sights. Point and shoot with pleasure. Moving in my sights. Point and shoot.
For the serpent.
Mm-hmm. Over there. Yes.
In my sights. Moving like a bullet. Point and shoot.
Die. Attack!
With pleasure. In my sights. With pleasure. In my sights. Moving with pleasure. Point and shoot. In my sights. Point the way.
Over there. Yes.
Not good.
I hunt.
With pleasure. Fire! Let loose! Steady! Point the way. Let loose! Attack! Let loose!
Yes. Uh-huh.
In my sights. Point the way. pleasure. Point the way. Point and shoot. Point the way. Point and shoot. With pleasure. Point and shoot. Moving with pleasure. Point and shoot like a bullet. Point and shoot with pleasure. Point and shoot. Moving with pleasure. Point and shoot like a bullet. Point the way. Point and shoot with pleasure. Like a bullet.
Moving, Master.
Thank you.
Point the way. No challenge. With pleasure. Moving.
Yes, sir. Yes, my lord.
With pleasure. In my sights. Moving like a bullet. In my sights. Point and shoot.
Yes, sir.
Over there. I move.
my sights, point the way. In my sights, with pleasure. Point and shoot. With pleasure. Point and shoot. In my sights.
Serpent, moving master. Yes, my lord. Moving master. Yes, sir. Serpent. Yes, sir. Moving master. Yes, my lord. Of course, sir.
Like a bullet in my sights, moving with pleasure. Point the way. Moving like a bullet in my sights. Reloading.
Great haste. Yes, sir. Yes, my lord.
Over there. Uh-huh.
Moving. Point the way.
Yes, sir. With great haste.
Point and shoot.
Yes, my lord.
There.
Moving master.
Point the way. With pleasure.
With great haste. Of course, sir. Yes, sir. Serpent. Yes, my lord.
Moving, point, and shoot. Moving like a bullet. In my sights. Moving.
Not good. Not good.
Of course, sir. With great haste.
Too easy. With pleasure. Point the way. Attack. With pleasure.
I have failed.
No challenge.
Of course, sir. Yes, my lord.
Moving like a bullet. With pleasure. Point and shoot.
Yes. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, master.
Better.
Give me, Lord.
Like a bullet. Point the way. Like a bullet. With pleasure. Point and shoot. With pleasure. Point and shoot. In my sights. Point and shoot. Moving like a bullet. With pleasure. Point and shoot. Like a bullet. In my sights. Moving like a bullet.
Moving, master. Yes, my lord. Moving, master. With great haste. Moving, master.
Quick and sure. Armed and dangerous. On target. Quick and sure. On target. Loaded up. Smoking. Loaded up. Point the way. Loaded up. Point the way. Quick and sure. Point the way. Quick and sure. Smoking. On target. Quick and sure. On target. Quick and sure. On target. Quick and sure. Loaded up. On target. Armed and dangerous. Quick and sure. Armed and dangerous. On target. Quick and sure. Point the way. Loaded up. Armed and dangerous. Loaded up. Point the way. Loaded up. On target. Loaded up. Point the way. Quick and sure. Armed and dangerous. Quick and sure. Armed and dangerous. Smoking. target. Quick and sure. On target. Quick and sure. On target. Quick and sure. Loaded up. Smoking. On target. Loaded up. On target. Quick and sure. Loaded up. On target. Loaded up. On target. Quick and sure. Armed and dangerous. Loaded up. Point the way. On target. Point the way. Loaded up. Quick and sure. Loaded up. Quick and sure. Loaded up. Point the way. Quick and sure. Smoking. Loaded up. On target. Quick and sure. Loaded up. On target. Point the way. On target. Quick and sure. On target.
You missed that one.
Quick and sure. On target. Aim for the head. Point the way. Loaded up. Point the way. Armed and dangerous. Loaded up. On target. Armed and dangerous. Loaded up. Point the way. On target. Quick and sure. Armed and dangerous. Quick and sure. On target. Quick and sure. Loaded up. Quick and sure. Loaded up. Armed and dangerous. Point the way. Armed and dangerous. Quick and sure. Armed and dangerous. Quick and sure. Smoking. Loaded up. Armed and dangerous. Loaded up. On target. Loaded up. Smoking. On target. Quick and sure. On target. Quick and sure. Smoking.
Of course, sir.
Armed and ready.
point the way. Armed and dangerous. Smoking. On target. Smoking. Armed and dangerous. Smoking. Whoa.
In my sights, moving